Learning Target 3, interpret statements that use function notation in terms of a real-world context. All right, so here's our first example. You can use the function f of x equals 9/5 x plus 32 to find the temperature f of x in degrees Fahrenheit for any given temperature x in degrees Celsius. So find each separate value. So I'm going to work on this whole page, so I'm going to highlight and I'll just change colors. So we'll stick with red. So the first one I'm going to do, this is going to be red. So when I'm going to write this one in red. So it says f of 15. So normally that's an f of x, but I'm replacing that x with a 15. So that means wherever there was an x in here, I'm going to plug 15 in for it. So I'm still going to have f of x equals, that's what I'm trying to figure out. This is like y. What is my y when my x is 15? So I'm going to have 9/5 times 15 plus 32. So now I have to do 9/5 times 15. I'm not going to lie, I don't feel like doing that in my head. So calculator, so I can do 9 times 15 divided by 5, 27. So now I have f of x equals 27 plus 32. So then I just add these two and I get 59. So my value, so what this means, so I'm trying to find, given a temperature x in degrees Celsius, so when my temperature is 15 degrees Celsius, my degrees Fahrenheit, because Fahrenheit is f of x, is 59. So when this is Celsius, so when I have 15 degrees Celsius, then I'm looking at this, f of x, is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so let's look at B. Let's do B. I'll do B in green. So the green writing is going to be for here. So I'm just going to do the same type of thing, except I'm plugging in a negative 10. So when my degrees Celsius is negative 10, what will my Fahrenheit be? So I still don't know what that is. I'm trying to figure that out. 9/5 times negative 10. Sorry, I have an itch in my head. Plus 32. So f of x equals, so again, if I don't feel like doing this, I don't care if you use a calculator, you do 9 times 10, which is 990. I don't know why I just said 900. We divide that by 5. We get 18. That's going to be a negative 18 plus 32. So now this is where they're different signs, so I'm going to subtract. So here I would do 32, right, because this is they're different signs. So I would do 32 minus 18. So I get, and then 14. And my bigger number is positive, so this should stay a positive. So this is telling me when my Celsius, when I am negative 10 degrees Celsius, that means I'm 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you want to write that, when it's negative 10 degrees Celsius, it is 14 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what that's saying in the real world. Alrighty, let's go then to blue. I'll do this one in blue. Oh, that kind of looks purple, doesn't it? Anyway, sorry, off topic. So this is the opposite now. Now it's saying find x. So I'm finding my degrees Celsius when f of x, when my Fahrenheit is 41. So I'm switching then. So when I have f of x equals a number, this number is now that y value, is now what I'm plugging in here. So now I set it up like this. 41 equals 9/5 x plus 32. So now I'm trying to find that x. So I know what my Fahrenheit is. I'm working backwards to find my Celsius. So the first thing I need to do is I need to subtract 32 from both sides, right? We should remember this from like way back in the beginning. That's going to cancel. I have 9/5 x equals, so I borrowed here, and I should have a 9. Then to get rid of this, it's a fraction, so I want to multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of that 5 on the bottom. because this will cancel with this. 9 times 5 is 45 equals 9x. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. X equals 5. 45 divided by 9 is 5. You could have also seen here 9/5 times what gives me 9? Well, I need to have that 5 there to cancel it out. If I have a 5, it cancels it out. So what this is saying is that when I am, so this is opposite, so this is saying when it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit now, it's 5 degrees Celsius. It's 5 degrees Celsius for, so it's just switching it. Right? It's just switching it. So again, for this one, I'll do this in yellow. Yellow. So again, I'm trying to find what my x value is, and they gave me my f of x. Remember, f of x is sometimes referred to as y. So my y is -4, so that f of x I'm just plugging in there now is that equals. So this is going to be my 9/5 x plus 32. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to minus 32, minus 32. These cancel. So I have -36 equals 9/5 x. So I'm going to times by 5. I'm going to times by 5. Those are going to cancel. Well, not the x. That just happened to be there, so that x is still there. So on this side, I'm going to have 9x. I don't feel like doing, what is that, 36 times 5, 180. And it is a negative. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. These are going to cancel and give me 1. 1x is the same thing as x. 9 goes into 18 2 times, and then there's a 0. It's dividing by a negative and a positive gives me a negative. So that's how I get this. So what this is saying is when, so this is my Fahrenheit, remember, f of x is Fahrenheit. So when I'm -4 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm -20 degrees Celsius. So it's just opposite. This one we're starting with my Celsius. So this one is 15 degrees Celsius. I'm 59 degrees Fahrenheit. And this one is just the backwards now of it. When I'm -4, I'm -20. And you should see it, this should work out. If I'm 15 degrees Celsius, I'm 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So my Celsius is always smaller than my Fahrenheit. My Fahrenheit should be bigger. So here, my Celsius is -10, my Fahrenheit is 14. That's good. My Fahrenheit is 41, my Celsius is 5, so Fahrenheit is bigger. That follows. Here, my Fahrenheit is -4, my Celsius is -20. That follows because this is a smaller number since they're negative. Okay, so example 2. H of x equals, let me get out of yellow real fast. I don't want to do yellow. So h of x equals 0.25 x minus 5 is your lemonade profit function, where your ingredients cost you $5 and you are selling the lemonade for 25 cents a glass. What is an appropriate domain and range for this function? So I'm not even asking you to plug anything in right now. I'm just asking you for what's an appropriate range and domain. So if you, where we're starting, so like our domain is going to be our x values, right? So my domain is going to be my x values. So my x values are going to be like right here, 25 cents times, this is how many glasses, right? So 25 cents times a glass, and I'm minusing that $5. So my domain value, if I can't sell negative glasses, right? So I can sell 0 glasses up to infinity glasses. Do we understand that? So this is going to be these are my domains, my x values that I'm plugging in, and that x is next to that 0.25, and that 0.25 tells me that's the amount of lemonade I'm selling a glass. So all the glasses that I sell, I can sell 0 glasses of lemonade, or I can sell an infinite amount of lemonade. I don't know. I mean, that's probably not probable, just because like however much lemonade I'm selling on a thing won't give me that, but I don't know any more information. I don't know if it makes only 12 cups. I don't know if it only makes 15 cups. If it said that I could only sell up to 20 cups because that's how much lemonade I have, it would be from 0 to 20. But my domain is going to be from 0 to infinity. My range, this is going to be my y values. So I need to think of this since my domain is starting at 0. What can I do? So if I just plug in 0 for that, so if I have f of x equals 0.25x minus 5, I can say, if I plug in my lowest number, if I plug in a 0 here, or 0.25 times 0 minus 5, this is going to cancel, and my f of x, my lowest number, is going to be negative 5. And if you couldn't look at that from here, so if I have to buy my ingredients, and that cost me $5. So I'm starting off with negative $5 that I spent. Depending on how much lemonade I can send, and this is infinity, so if I plug infinity in there, then I can go up to infinity. So this is negative 5 to infinity. But just say this, so my red is just going to be a random example. Just say my domain here was 0, and this was my domain. 0, and maybe it was 7. My range then, and for this example, would be from negative 5, and then to figure out what that number is, if it was 7, all I have to do is do f of x equals 0.25 times 7 minus 5. Whatever that answer gives me would be that top number of my range. But we're just looking at what an appropriate one is. So we're going to say infinity, even though we don't know, but if it gave us more information, we could limit that. But these ones, we should definitely know that this one can only start at 0, and this one can only, so if you put 0 to infinity, this one would be wrong. So before class, here's a little thing right here. You're telling me, what does P of 4 mean in terms of this context? So that's kind of like, instead of me doing the work here, you don't have to necessarily find the specific value. I would prefer that you did find the specific value, so that way you can tell me when this is 4, this is this. But this one is it is telling you find P of 4. Just kidding. So don't listen to anything I just said. So actually find it and then tell me this, and then actually find this and then tell me what it means in terms of the context.